The scepter will never lead Judah. The scepter will never lead Judah. The scepter will never lead
Six cheering for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The scepter will never lead Judah. The scepter will never lead Judah. The scepter will never lead Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press.
History and practical knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Virtuous Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Friday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Sabbath morning class is from 10 a.m. till we're finished answering questions and the reading. We have another location out in Virginia. Their address is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia, 23517. Their class times are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And their Shabbat morning class is the same as ours. We also have another location out here in Texas as well. In San Antonio, their address is 4444 Walden Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas, 78218. Their class times, their class days are the same as ours, but they start 30 minutes after we start, and they go at about an hour longer than we do. So, they'll be on, check them out, there's an extended clip. We also have other ways that you can stay in contact and stay being fed with this word through Blog Talk Radio. You can reach Brother Mashaba, several different teachers, the archive classes, very good subjects, topics, and classes. And that's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And also on Sundays, they have a kids show. So if you have small children, it'd be nice to tune into that and let the kids get fed as well. The scriptures say, train up a child in the way he should go. He's slow, he won't depart. So check that out, Blog Talk Radio. We also have other YouTube channels. The one you're on right now, the Virginia channel, the 5 Minutes of Wisdom, the Hidden Truth Show, and the Israelite Media Corp. All great nuggets of information that you can drop on your friends, family members, or just to continue to study up and edify yourself to get sharp. Israel, they're accepting orders. So get your orders in if you want something custom, like a custom tunic, armband, headband, girdle. Let the sisters know and they'll get you hooked up with that. Or we also have the Fringe Up subscription where you can get a custom headband and a matching shirt to go with it. And that's for $75, or you can just get a Fringe Up shirt for just $35. And it's a monthly subscription. So you don't have to worry about going out to find a shirt and then going out to go get a fringe and trying to make sure that's right. The sisters will make sure that you're laced up. So check them out. Also, we have the Hebrew Academy. Here in Houston, the Hebrew Academy is every Tuesday, and it's every Wednesday in Virginia. If you're not in Houston or surrounding areas, hit the brothers up, hit us up, and we'll send you the link so you can join us online. If you need to reach a priest or teacher, you can reach Priest Kazaki at 757-300-4047. Or you can reach Priest Kwatazap at 303-557-8979. And please text only during class. We have a business, it's called Sweet Ambiance, where we sell your aromatherapeutic oils, your men fragrances and your female fragrances, your creams, your bath salts, your bath bombs, anything when it comes to smelling good, your personal and your house, we got you covered. So check out Sweet Ambiance, and everything that you buy, it supports the school. So, you're able to support the school and get something too. If you want to make any donations, you can drop that into the Wells Fargo account. The Wells Fargo account should be there on the screen. or you can zell it to us. Any alms, donations, priest offerings can all go through the Wells Fargo and the Zelle. We are needing supplies, pens, books, papers, notebooks, Bibles, apocryphers, dictionaries, oil for oil, frankincense and myrrh, whatever, another ram's horn, whatever you feel like, you can give, or if you want to support the ministry, a camp vehicle, can't leave that out, camp band, whatever will support the ministry. New surround sound system, just to further edify our people. If you got a hookup or if you have it yourself, hit up Priest Quatazop and he'll give you a good address where you can mail those items. We got another dynamite class. Dynamite.
I hate when he does that. Because it don't be that good.
Oh, bro, it's always good. When it's coming from thus said the Lord, it can't. The Most High is the greatest, right? God. So if it's coming from the book, it gotta be great.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. So today we're gonna go over just a basic class, man. Just a reminder to brothers and sisters about just the importance of maintaining the blessings that the Most High gives you, and why it's important. And don't, not to let your the things that the Most High gives us, no matter what it is, because He gives us a lot.
God.
Not to let those things become your downfall. And as we go through, we'll understand what are some of the blessings that He gives, and how do these same things that He give us, how do they become the thing that hinders us? All right, so let's go to Ecclesiastes. In the Bible.
God.
Right, go to Ecclesiastes 5:19. And basically with this first point, what we want to point out is that the Most High, He is the one that gives us the blessings.
God.
Everything. And who does He bless? Who does He bless, and who's given the blessings? It's very important, because one of the reasons why we take lightly the things that we do have is because we don't recognize who they come from. We think that it's from our own will, from our own power, because you woke up in the morning and showed up, that it came because of you. Not realizing that the blessing was there. You just had to do certain things to get it, but it was already there before you put any actions out there. The blessing was for anybody to take that was in the right mind. So just a reminder. We got to have these classes to remind brothers and sisters of these little things, right? So Ecclesiastes 5:19.
It's just like what you were saying, that blessing being there for anybody to take. Because when you look at Judas, right, when he did what he did, they said his bishopric, let another man take. Right? Let another man take that spot. That blessing is for somebody. It just ain't for him now.
Right.
Oh,
See that?
Yeah. Yeah, the blessing. I mean, what do y'all think? Like, it's there already. It's like the scriptures say the saints of the Most High will take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever and ever. The kingdom's already prepared for us. That's what the scriptures say. So it's up to us to go out and take it. It's up to us to go out and do what's necessary to take it. Right? It's already there. So it's prepared in the heavens. Right? He's not going to be, when He's dropping the kingdom down to us, preparing it while it's falling, like still putting up buildings and stuff. Most High don't work like that. He don't work like how we work. Like, we do things late. We wait to the last minute, procrastinate. He already has it ready. But we have to do, how are we going to get it? We got to take it. Right? But how do we take it? Through our actions, through the things that we do. Go to Ecclesiastes. Let me see.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 19. Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth,
Go ahead.
and hath given him power to eat thereof.
Right. Let me see here. Maybe we want to read up a little bit. Let's see. Where we at? Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5,
Read 18.
verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and to drink,
Go ahead.
and to enjoy the good of all his labor.
Right. You see that? So Solomon is reminding us, man, that it's good for a man to enjoy the fruits of his labor or the blessings that he's brought forth through his works. But really, it's the blessings that are already there that the Most High allows us to achieve through our good works. Go ahead.
That he taketh under the sun all the days of his life,
Go ahead.
which God giveth him,
Go ahead.
for it is his portion.
Right. You see that? So this is the portion that the Most High wants to give us through our labors. Read on.
Verse 19.
Right.
Every man also to whom God hath given riches and wealth, and hath given him power to eat thereof.
Right. So he's given us the power to partake in the blessings that he's given us. Go ahead. Because what's the point of getting something that you can't use it? What's the point of getting a blessing and it's not useful to you? Would it be a blessing? Right? It would just be, what's the point of getting that woman and she's useless? Off the bat, she's just not a wife, not wife material. How does that end? A lot of talking, a lot of contention, a lot of heartache, a lot of counsels, right? Right. It becomes useless. It's not, the blessing is not there for what it was purposed for. Go ahead.
And to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of the Most High.
Right. So, when we talk about blessings, you're going to see the word gift a lot.
God.
Right? The gift of the Lord. We're going to go through a lot of these scriptures that talk about these gifts that the Most High gives us. They're blessings. Great bum mode. Right? Because ain't that the thought sometimes that, as soon as I start reading the scriptures, I gotta become a bum. I gotta be an Israelite vagabond. The Most High said he wants you to prosper. What's that?
We said it on the shot class.
Oh, okay.
Was
What we say?
have wisdom, right? If you have wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, you'll be able to use that same wisdom that you're getting from the Most High to obtain your necessities.
Right. Just like Solomon, what did he pray for?
Wisdom.
Pray for wisdom, and that gave him the blessings. Right? And not only did he get the blessings, he got the wisdom to be able to maintain.
Yeah,
Right?
you can't let Esau have you programmed where like you think you gotta walk around like a bum in the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they always put the movies up there, and Moses is this pale white man with the dusty flip flops and a rug on.
No,
He's got a rug for a robe.
His feet are the flip flops.
Yeah.
Because they're so calloused over. It's like, dang, he got shoes on, or is he wearing sand?
Yeah,
Right.
Abraham was just walking. Abraham was just walking around in the desert, in desert lands with no water or nothing like that, and just looking for a
Chaplets.
place to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, lips so dry.
Yeah, we was kings. If you look up, what was that place called, man? But it's somewhere in Damascus. Abraham was the king of Damascus. You understand? That's in their records. He was their king. Yeah, we descend from kings, man. So
That's right.
we knew how to travel from place to place and maintain the blessings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I got me a rib. She coming with me. Where are we going? Wherever the Most High say. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you wasn't with it, okay, well, you back in the desert somewhere. You know what I mean? You back in Mesopotamia or you back in Damascus somewhere. But everything he had, you got to look at it. The Most High tried all of that stuff for him. And put him in situations to try those things. If he had servants, hey, listen, we're going to go fight 4 nations. They just whooped 5 nations. We're going to go whoop them. How many want to go? 318. Okay, well, that's who's rolling. You know what I mean?
God.
His rib. Okay, well, I'm going this way. Where's that way? That way, where the Most High said. Who's the Most High? we going this way. You know, he rolled. All that was a trial to help him maintain his blessings. You know what I mean?
To see what was a blessing and what was not.
Yeah, his son, taking him up there. He had a son. I'm taking you up a mountain. Where's the sacrifice at? You the sacrifice. And he still came down the mountain with him? Like, hell no, I ain't risking that. You might do that again. You know what I mean? You was about to do it. You had the knife out and everything.
Yep.
I ain't messing with you, Dad. But what did he do? Same thing. Took the same steps when Abraham was gone.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? And kept learning how to maintain his blessings. Y'all see that?
God.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 10:5.
The book of Ecclesiasticus.
And then somebody else gave me James 1:17. Read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 5. In the hand of the Most High
Right.
is the prosperity of man.
Right. You see that? So our prosperity is not determined on us per se. What do I mean by that? Well, to get the prosperity, you got to get up. You got to move around. You got to put in the work. Right? But think about it. Hebrews chapter 10:35 says, for you have need of patience, that after you do the will of the Most High, you might receive the blessing. You might. Keyword might. So it's not always contingent on, well, what I'm doing. You might have to do something for a lot longer than some to be able to get blessed. You see that? You might have to suffer longer than what you think. You might have to be in the truth 10 years without a rib. Some brothers come in and get 7 of them in 6 months, right? Not brothers that are moving the right way. I'm making a joke, right? Man, who was talking about that? Me and you were talking about that this morning, right?
Yeah,
We were headed from the gym and we were talking about it. Like, man, these brothers come in and they misuse the wisdom to get, the women and all that different stuff.
Like a cloak of maliciousness.
Yeah, they run through people.
Mm-hmm.
They run through people, right? And it destroys the outlook of the truth.
And it tells the Most High, you know what? You ain't worthy of that blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Next thing you know, these brothers end up ugly as hell. You know what I mean? They end up out of shape, fat, messed up, lazy, and then they wisdom starts slipping. Because the Most High said, you know what? You've been using that for the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he said in James 4, he said you ask, but you ask so you can use it amiss.
Yeah.
You know
Consume
what I mean?
on your lust.
You consume it on your own lust. You don't use it the right way. You're not using it to maintain the blessing. Like, you got a rib, you use wisdom to get her, and you keep using wisdom to maintain her. You know what I mean? Keep her going to class, keep her involved in the things sisters and brothers are doing. Nah. I'm just using her for a fun bag when I get home. Well, you ain't using that blessing the right way.
Yeah.
So he take that from you.
And that's not just with a rib. Because as we go down and we look at all the different things that the Most High gives us, that's with anything that you get from the Most High. It can be wisdom, knowledge, understanding. It could be anything. If you're not using it for a purpose towards His will, that blessing is, you're going to fall into that hole of having it, losing it, and then trying to recapture that glory. Recapture that.
I'm sorry, but if you don't see it, look at your forefathers. Keep looking at them. I keep bringing that up because that's what was brought to us. You know what I mean? That's what's been given to us. Reuben was the firstborn, man. Reuben was supposed to be, you could imagine him walking around the camp and he's the next king. After Jacob go, it's Reuben. And so, how was he able to take it with, was it Bilhah?
Yeah, he slept with his concubine.
You know what I mean? How was that? Oh, he took advantage of his blessing. He took advantage of the respect people gave him. The respect the sisters was giving him and everything like that. And went ahead and hit that. Like that was his right. So the Most High took that from him. Okay, you the firstborn, but Judah is going to get the scepter.
Yep.
Y'all see that? The Christ, the Messiah, Hamashiach, he's going to come through Judah now.
He
could have come through you.
He could have came through Reuben.
Yeah.
You messed that up,
probably supposed to come through Reuben.
Yeah, you hitting concubines.
I'll get that.
If it wasn't Judah, it would have been Issachar. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Man. First of all, I know Benjamin is the best. Somebody had the nerve. Somebody had the nerve to go on Facebook. Off topic real quick. Somebody had the nerve to go on Facebook. Tripping. Talking about Issachar food is the best food out of all the 12.
Outside of Judah, all your food is the same.
Nah, bro. First of all the food is the same.
Yeah, no. Outside of Judah, all your food is the same.
All the food is the same. All rice and beans.
That's all
it's all the same. Judah's taco is a piece of bread folded.
Judah don't do that. We got
And a sandwich.
We talking about taste. Benjamin
I mean, y'all literally got the same ingredients. You know what I mean? And then
Nah, it ain't the same.
Issachar do this, make a taco,
Listen,
and then
bro.
open it and call it tostada. Yeah.
Listen, bro. Benjamin was blessed with the talent to cook. Benjamin's blessing was cooking. All right. Read Ecclesiasticus 10:5. Now everybody on the damn chat going in. Hey, I'm not knocking on Issachar's food. But I'm gonna rock with Benjamin. Go ahead, read. Where we at? Brothers, man, you gotta examine yourself when you say things like that.
Did you want me to continue with Ecclesiasticus?
Read it from the top.
Ecclesiasticus.
Nah, what the? Come on, man. Go ahead, read it. Block everybody that's talking about Issachar. Block them. They're gonna get blocked now. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 verse 5.
Go ahead.
In the hand of the Most High
Right,
is...
so I went here just to, we got to understand whose hand is your blessing in. Well, when it says in the hand of the Most High is man's prosperity, meaning that it's there for you to take out of his hand. His hand is open to you, but where's your hands? What work? What are you doing to be able to grab prosperity? You see that? Go ahead.
In the hand of the Most High is the prosperity of man.
Go ahead.
And upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor.
Right, go to James 1:17.
Can you elaborate on that?
What's that?
About his hand being, it's in his hand to get, so that means like through education or
Well,
the Most High,
it's in his hand, meaning, think about it. If I want something, like I'll use what it says in Daniel, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Right now, get me back to that. Where we got Matthew's? Oh, that one's 25. Right. Go to Matthew's 25 real quick. Let's just elaborate on the blessings being there. Go to Matthew's 25:34. Go get me Daniel's. What is that? 7:25. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. Right. He just wanted me to elaborate more on the blessing being there in the Most High's hand. And think about it. You're a parent, right? Aren't the blessings of your children in your hand? And all they really got to do is the right things, right? Meaning be respectful. Meaning come and acts, right?
Follow your rules.
Follow your rules. Give honor to you. Respect your house. Respect your ways. And your hand is already open, right? You already know what they need. It's no different. The Most High said he knows what we need. He knows what we want. All you got to do is ask. Right? Now, with these blessings, there's many things that brothers and sisters need and want. Because there's nothing wrong with wanting something. There's nothing wrong with having a car but wanting a new car. You had a fridge, but you wanted a new fridge, right? Brother got a new fridge. I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting things. Right? There's nothing wrong, and we're always going to need things. The scriptures say that. We're always going to be in need. Right? But how do I go about gaining the things that I want or the things that I need?
Right.
How do I go about it? Well, many of us go about it the wrong way. Well, we'll bypass the hand that's out. We'll bypass the Most High's hand. But his hand represents order, structure, following, doing it his way, right? So we'll bypass that hand, slap that hand out the way, because we see that our hand can get it. We're forgetting that, yes, we have to put our hands to works to get things, right?
Right.
But we'll put more of our hand to it and disregard the fact that it's already there for you. Just do it this opposite way. do things this way. Well, I don't want to do things with order and with structure and with faith. I can go get it.
Yeah, it's
What
funny.
was-
I was watching It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if any of y'all seen that. It's an old movie.
It's an old movie.
James Stewart and all that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
basically, this dude he was dealing with was basically like the devil. You know what I mean? He was like, listen, come work for me. I give you 20 grand a year, da 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 da. All the stuff he needed, right? And he ended up losing this money because he was running a bank. His guy ended up losing $8,000, which he needed to keep the bank running. And you know, he had been doing his whole life giving up for everybody else. His brother, his dad, gave up his whole life so he could help run the family business. You know what I mean? And doing for everybody in the neighborhood. The bank was always broke, but the people always had a loan. They always had a house. They always had a place to stay. You know what I mean? So he had done for everybody in the whole town, right? But when it came down to that money getting lost and he was going to lose his business, the dude had called the cops and told them he was that he basically embezzled the money. And so he's frantic looking, you know, he's about to kill himself. And, you know, you got to skip ahead a little bit, but basically the angel shows him what would have happened if he would have never been born. You know what I mean? If y'all know that story. But when he comes back after that part, he's going to this guy asking him for the money, and the guy's like, you know, playing him like, yeah, you got to come work for me. Well, what's going to happen to the savings loan? Don't worry about that. You know, he's basically trying to trick him into working for him. And, you know, after he goes through his little phase or whatever, he goes home, and he's all happy to be alive and all that stuff. And, you know, his guy that lost the money, he comes in and he's like, listen, George, all I had to do was go around town and tell him George was in trouble. And all these people came to his house, started throwing money in a hat and in a bucket and everything like that, and just overwhelmed this dude with money. And it was like, all you had to do was ask. You had the blessing right there. All you had to do was reach out and grab that. All you had to do was swallow your pride and go ask the people you've been helping all this time. You know what I mean? But he just let the blessing sit there and he's about to sell out to the devil. You know what I mean? And how many of us do that all the time? Most I'd be like, I got this for you. I got things I have not seen nor ear heard. What was that, Isaiah 64:17? Nobody even knows and can imagine the things I got waiting for you. But you like, well, but you know, if I get her, she got a good job. You know what I mean? Or if I deal with doing it this way, I can get that money quick. You know what I mean? Or I can pay these bills right now if I do it this way. But the Most High, like, listen, man, all you got to do is keep working, and I'll bless you. It's nothing of a sudden to make a poor man rich.
I'll give you one that I remember. Two brothers. They were complaining, and yes, they were complaining about not having enough time with their children, right? Because, you know, at that time we had the mall.
Yeah.
And, you know, at that mall, the grueling hours, 11 hours a day, you know, but they weren't working
Watching
crazy.
all the happy couples walk.
Watching all the happy couples walk by and shop.
Throwing their kids in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's dancing and there's confetti falling around, right? That's what brothers put in their head. Like,
Slow motion.
yeah, everything's in slow motion.
They be in the air just giggling.
Yeah, there's a sunbeam coming through the mall ceiling. Right? It's like everybody's like the park that's transformed into the mall. But brothers, they complain about, oh, you know, not getting enough time with my children, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Right? And mind you, we were used to just getting in that mall. You know how I go, grinding, not complaining about it, just doing it. And they wanted that blessing of having to be able to be around their children. That free time, that leisure time that wasn't really so much leisure.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't studying and maintaining your spirit, it would have became that curse, right? So coronavirus hit, mall shuts down. And some brothers happen to leave the mall, left the school, right?
To get that free time.
To get that free time. They left before the mall shut down. They're like, no, I gotta go get my time another way. Look, I'm gonna get weekends off. I'm gonna get my kids. Come on. The mall shuts down.
And end up working for their sister.
No, damn. I wasn't even talking about that one. But the mall shuts down. We haven't been back in that mall in almost, it's about to be a year. It's been 10 months, right?
God.
It's been 10 months. All the time in the world, brothers was doing this with their kids, right? I'm throwing my son in the air like this with all the sun rays and confetti was falling down around me and ring around the rosy. But them same brothers had to go get jobs.
Yeah, they work.
They were working while we were off because they felt like, you know what, I gotta go get this a different way. I can't wait on the Most High. I can't be patient and dip into the putting my hands to what it needs to be and fighting for the blessing. I see that you got a little leisure, so I got to get the leisure. But not understanding, because, you know, brothers came to me like, man, you got so much leisure time. How do you do it? Like, what? Leisure time? You should have brought more than one. There's 3 of us up here. Leisure time? There ain't no leisure time in Israel. There's no, if I'm not in one thing heavily, I'm in something else heavily. It has to do with the camp. But they missed that where they thought, well, I'm going to make time myself. You see that? But then they end up, when we got all the free time from that zone, so we were able to do what? We were able to travel with our kids, take them to Virginia. I don't know how many times.
Hang out on the beach.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, I don't know. Bro, bring one more. No.
He got it over.
Oh, you got it? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just-
But,
I don't know how many road trips he been on, right? He been to Virginia, New York a few times this year. You know, just even the camp. We took a camp road trip where the majority of everybody that could went out to VA for a feast.
God.
You know, but that was the Most High opening up those blessings because we didn't sit back and say, well, when it was time for us to work hard, we want to neglect the work and neglect what we got to do to be able to get that open time. Because even the trip to VA, that was work. Getting everybody together and synchronized and getting everybody there safe, that was work. It took work for that to happen, right? It took order. It took discipline. It took structure. But if you want to abandon those little bit of principles in trying to achieve what you want, then whatever you go and get is going to be chaos. It's going to be disorder. It's going to be out of order because you're taking the prosperity that the Most High is trying to give you and you're putting it in your own hands. Right. And we know how that goes. Man, it's garbage. And we destroy everything. Everything our little puny hands we put on, we destroy it if we don't use wisdom.
yeah, I got to keep bringing up Judas, but, you know, you got to think. The scripture tell you in, was it Hebrews 1 and 2? The last days started when Christ was walking the earth. Everything Israel was waiting for started when Christ was born. Right? And Judas gave up at that point. Because it wasn't happening today. Right? Then at the same time, all the promises that was going to happen to anybody that stayed following Christ, he said what was going to happen. You're going to be with me in the resurrection. You're going to be one of them dead bodies that get up out of their grave and walk the earth again. Right? So Judas killed himself, damned himself for eternity, right while the blessing was right there in his face. Y'all see that? So he outed himself for the blessing, and the blessing was right there, eating with him, drinking with him. Y'all see that? How many times are you overlooking your blessing? How many times are you taking it for granted? You know what I mean? Because Judas was there for the bag. It tells you in the scriptures. He held the bag. That's all he cared about. When the woman was wiping down Christ's feet with the ointment,
He's a thief.
he was thinking like, it said he said this not because he cared for the poor,
Because
but
he wanted to skim.
Yeah, because he held the bag.
Because he wanted to thieve the money.
He wanted the money. He was like, dude, you just saw Christ tell Peter to grab a fish and grab gold out of his mouth. What the hell money you need?
Right.
How much more do you need? Just ask him. He right there.
Well, and if he was looking at that, he was overlooking all the wisdom that Yahweh Shah was dropping.
Yeah.
That blessing.
You know, I watched that movie. I watched the movie that the sister talked about. So,
Oh, I need to watch that.
and in the movie, it was dropped. They said like this young fish went to the older fish, and was like, I want to get to this place. It's called the ocean. I want to get to this place called the ocean. And the older fish is like, you're there. And he's like, no, this is water. And he's like, no, you're there. Like you're already in the ocean, but he didn't recognize the blessing of where he wanted to be. He was already there. He didn't appreciate where he was at and was trying to reach for something else where he was already where he needed to be.
Yeah, the moral of it is it's all water, man.
God.
The blessing is all around you.
Yeah. It's
You've
there.
been living in it. You know,
Yep.
you've been there. You already in it. All you got to do is sit back and be able to say, "Damn, this is it. I'm there."
God.
You know what I mean? You already. It said, "Behold, what love the Most High showed us, that we are called the children of the Most High." You're already His children. You already got an inheritance written for you. The whole Bible is your personal paycheck, and it's written to you, Israel, 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 right?
Yeah.
We tell the other nations, you can't cash this check. It's written to Israel. All you got to do is show up to the bank. But again, how many of us see that? How many of us are looking at it and saying, you know what? I just got to go to the bank. All I got to do is put what they want when you go to the bank. Wear a mask. Go get your money, right? If you don't wear the mask, you can't come in. What did the Most High say? Don't be gay. You know what I mean?
Turn it up a little.
Don't do no homo crap. You know what I mean? Listen, don't sleep with animals. Easy stuff, right? There's like stuff to tempt you, like you don't be like walking to the zoo like.
What that animal feels like. So
You know
that
what I
animal
mean?
tank.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you just like,
tank.
don't have sex with animals. Okay, cool, bet. You know what
That
I
didn't
mean?
even cross my mind.
Yeah, the rest of the world got to worry about that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got it easy life, but what are you sitting there doing? Well, I can't walk on water like Christ. What? Well, I can't do what this brother did or that brother did, or I don't got the money that Solomon had, or I can't buy this at my leisure, and I can't buy my rib her Louboutins, and you know what I mean? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You're in the blessing, bro.
That's
Louis
right.
Vuitton gonna get nuked,
God.
and you'll still be alive.
That nigga's dead.
Most of them niggas dead. You know what I mean? All the designers your rib want, it was either homosexuals or they dead. Or they dead from being homosexual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nation.
And you're still here.
That's
Yeah, I'm like, how? Because the Most High is like, okay, well, they ain't got the immune system to live through this, but my chosen do. You know, see that?
Because they got the wisdom.
Yeah, you already
They're
got
using
it.
the wisdom. Yeah.
And y'all gotta be watching these like Return of the Jedi, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? These cats was, they knew what they had. You know what I mean? Like I don't gotta chase money. I could sit there and just do nothing wicked. All I gotta do is what keeps that force in me.
Yeah. It's there for the taking.
Yeah, that's what the Most High said. He said that same spirit that raised Yahweh Shah from the dead dwell in you. It'll quicken your mortal body.
It's gonna be on top. So, yeah.
It's already in you. You getting it all the time, but are you maintaining it? Brothers don't want to study to maintain that spirit. What's the spirit that brought Christ back from the dead? No. Was it some mystical magic trick that he did? What spirit is it? Or basically, what is the spirit?
The Holy Spirit.
The word.
Which is what?
Which is what?
The word, right?
God.
So you got it with you right now. You got the same spirit that brought Christ back from the dead sitting in your hands right now. And you be like,
No, you
Right?
wonder why you wonder
you
why
swiping left.
you wonder why you're dying. You wonder why you're dying and your blessings are being are decaying right in front of you because you're not using the very thing that is there to help you maintain.
Right. What got you the blessing will maintain the blessing. You put gas in your car, but you don't gas up your spirit. The gas maintain your car, right? That's a given. I gotta put gas. I gotta put oil.
Right.
I gotta put this in you. You gotta live that word to keep your blessings. You gotta live that word to increase your blessings, and you gotta live that word to be able to bless others.
God.
You know what I mean? That's another thing we don't look at, man. I was watching this one. I think it was a TikTok. The lady was saying, but you don't take care of you, and then you expect to bless other people. So you got a glass that's half full, and then you trying to pour somebody half a glass, and you can't figure out why you never get ahead. Well, you got a giving spirit, but you ain't got nothing in you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whereas if you let the Most High fill you to overflowing and running over, you can give people your surplus, man. and not be missing nothing for you. You could be studying all day, and when somebody asks you a question, oh, I got you, man, because I got these and thous and thuses popping out of my ears. I've been studying so much. Have y'all ever done that? Where you just accidentally start talking in Old English? Like, yeah, okay, I gotta start just applying because I've been studying way too much. I'm talking like King James, you know what I mean? I'm talking like Shakespeare. So I gotta apply now. You'll have it pressed down, shaken together, and overflow. And then you'll have it to give to others.
Yeah, let's get through some of these scriptures. Go to James. So you get that, right? I'm on. Go to James. We're only 3 scriptures in, so let's go to James. Go to James 1:17.
James chapter 1 verse 17.
Go ahead.
Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above.
Right. Just reestablishing where do the good gifts, where do the all the good gifts that we desire, that we want, where are they coming from? Well, it says they come from above. So you got to really put into perspective, Shara. You got to put into perspective, if you're getting things from the heavens, from above, what type of things are you really getting? What things do you have at your disposal? Because they're not earthly. Remember, he said he didn't redeem us with silver and gold. Right? We got redeemed with the blood of Yahweh Shai, with heavenly things. Go ahead.
And cometh down from the Father of lights.
Go ahead.
With whom is no variableness.
There's no what?
Variableness.
Look that word up. Read on.
Neither shadow of turning.
Right, neither a shadow of turning. So when it's telling you about variableness or a shadow of turning, meaning that the blessings that the Most High is sending down, it's not just going to be, well, it got a timestamp, or it's dated, or, this blessing is good. Yeah, he's dangling the golden carrot, and when you get it, it's a mirage. No, it's a sure, true, tested blessing. It is a blessing. So when you get the wisdom, when you get that woman, when you get that vehicle, when you get that job, when you get that leisure time, right? When you get whatever your heart's desire, man, when you get it, it is a blessing. But it's man. It's us. It's us. No, I'm good. I got agua. What you got for variableness?
So variableness,
Right?
comes from the word variable,
Right?
which just means likely to change.
You see that? There's no variableness. There's no likeliness that your blessing is going to change from a blessing to a curse. It's not possible. Well, it is. When the Most High gives it, it's a sure, guaranteed thing. I'm being serious. Ain't that happening, bro?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, you want me to lie up here, or what you want me to do? Tell the truth. It says, tell the truth and shame the tongue, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's what we gonna do. Right? Yahweh, I need free time. Okay, my son. Bow. 6 months to a year. Now that free time could be a blessing, because it is. Oh, damn, I ain't gotta answer to Esau. Right. I ain't gotta pull up to his job, build his kingdom.
Right.
Man, I can study, be around the brothers, give my spirit to the school, give my spirit to my household, be on top of all the different things that I need to be on top of. Right? But where does that blessing turn? Where does the variables now come in? Well, damn, I don't got time to study as much, because now I got my new Netflix show, LA's Finest, is on Netflix. It's actually a good show. LA's Finest with Gabriella Union and Jessica Alba.
Okay.
Right? I got eye candy on TV now. Or I got Disney Plus with all the Marvel and cinematic and breakdown. I'm studying Marvel of peace and not of evil. But we don't even know how to think towards our own selves. We don't even know how to use what the Most High gives us and say, you know what, let me make sure that this is what the Most High intended. Right? Because that's the condition, that's the problem with man out of the spirit. We get things and we don't know how to keep them as the Most High intended. So that free time, curse, right? That woman that needed a little extra attention and care, Because all you have to do is just probe her mind daily,
Yep.
teach her, walk her through her spirit, walk her through her mind, sit her down.
Yep.
Now she's disgruntled, she's a curse. That car, think about it. It's easy. When you get a car and you don't do an oil change, what happens?
Love it.
It's going to shut down, right? It's going to seize up, and you got bigger problems. You don't change the tires. What's going to happen? You don't change the wiper blades. What's going to happen? Maintenance, proper maintenance, right? You got to maintain things for it to be to last and be what you intended it to be. Because if you don't maintain a car, then what is it? It's just a road ornament, right? On the side of the road, just sitting there. It's the ones you see on the side of the highway that's just broken down. Well, somebody didn't maintain that. You ever see somebody with a brand new car? You like that? That's a 2018, looking like a 19. Did we?
Yeah, you was like, damn,
Oh!
brand new car. It's
Brand new
broke
car.
over.
Dude had his hood up, this, and I'm like, that's a brand new car. Why is it broken down?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever had it, they didn't maintain it. Not because it's new, it's going to maintain itself. Or it doesn't need to be maintained. You have to do the proper maintenance for anything.
Even our bodies.
Even your body.
Our bodies. Think about when you was young, fresh, strong. You had your yokes. You could run. You could run a 4.4, 4.2.
You can run as fast as a horse.
Con.
You running 6 miles an hour.
Bench press the whole stack.
Ooh.
Can't fit no more weights on.
I was making that.
Squat. But then what happened? You didn't maintain yourself. You was still living in the past, thinking about how strong and how good you used to be. And then you try to do something now, your knee pop out. Your back give out. Your shoulder. Whatever.
Hey, hold on real quick. John Doe. You might be new to the channel. We're on a whole different topic of what you're talking about. So I know you got a question in here that we are not going to get to right now because it's off the topic. But what we want you to do is just kind of lay off the chat and trying to teach in the chat. Pay attention to the class. That way you're not a distraction to the other people trying to learn. All right? So just have that respect and have that courtesy for the ones that's trying to learn and not be distracted with the chat. All right? That's go to Proverbs 10 and verse 6. Hey, I mean they're new. I never seen them on there before, so you know, we all gotta respect one another. We're all friends here, right? We're all here to learn.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we want to make sure we keep things. The scriptures say, "Do all things decently and in order." Right. Let's make sure we keep that order. Everybody else that been rocking with us, y'all know how we get down. Keep that order in the chat, please.
God.
Read that.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Blessings are upon the head of the just,
Right.
but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
Right. So you know the point. The blessings are on the head of the just. But think about this. The Most High said He let it rain on the just and on the unjust. Right. So even the wicked get blessed in some way, shape, or form. But the true blessings, because that rain that rains on the just might be a flood, right? And that rain, that rain that rains on the unjust, that could be a flood. And the rain that rains on the just could be what he needs to get them crops going. So even in that, yeah, he'll drop that rain, but in what magnitude? You see that? So the Most High is about blessing the just, the ones that do His will, the ones that are going to take what He gives and use it for the proper purpose. So now we're going to go through some of these. I want to point out some of these blessings because there's some things that we do tend to overlook, and we've mentioned them. We've talked about the rib, we've talked about the car, we've talked about, the wisdom. There's a few other things that the Most High said, these are blessings. These are rewards for your diligence, your patience, your long suffering, for putting your life down and taking up the life of Christ. There's a blessing in that. Go ahead.
And suddenly He maketh His blessing to flourish.
Right, so not only do you get a blessing, but He'll make that blessing flourish. But is it just going to do that on its own? Is it just going to do it on its own? Is all of a sudden that woman going to be a bonehead and then all of a sudden she's just going to be just floating on air, floating on the spirit? All of a sudden the word is just going to twinkle into her? No, she might be a little slow in certain areas. I use the word bonehead lightly, right? She might be slow in certain areas, but it takes a man instilling certain things that she doesn't have in her, sitting her down, right? Or even herself, if she ain't got no man, it always got to be a man. Even if she don't got a man, but her having the diligence in herself to say, you know what, let me sit back and learn a few more things that I didn't have. You know, it's not always contingent on another man. I don't want that to be the tone, right? Because even brothers, you got boneheaded brothers, right? That they know that they're boneheaded. They know they got some good in them, but they say, you know what, I gotta covet now the best gifts. So I gotta sit down and learn what I don't know and make myself better so I can be a blessing, because we're a blessing to each other. Or we should be, right? What I need to do. And you'll be able to abound more and more. Y'all see that? Go ahead. Go Ecclesiasticus 37:24.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 verse 24.
Yeah, somebody has to remember to reset the motor. Go ahead.
A wise man shall be filled with blessing,
Go ahead.
and all they that see him shall count him happy.
Because that's what the blessings are meant to do. The blessings are there to put you in that good state of mind, that happy state of mind. It tells you, live joyfully with the wife of thy bosom, right? And always be nestled with her breast, right? It tells you, eat of the labor, eat of the fruits of your labor. Eat, drink, be merry, right?
Right.
The Bible is telling us these things. So it's not that, right? Now how you take the comfort into Ecclesiasticus. This is an easy one. Ecclesiastes 26, 20, 14. And 14. You want that one? Yeah, you put that in there. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 verse 14.
Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High.
It's a gift from who?
The Most High.
So, silent, loving. So that means she's attentive. She's generous and loving you and caring for the things that needs to be cared for. Read on.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
She's willing to receive instructions, your guidance, learn your likes, your dislikes. If whatever you're filling her with, what's priority, what's not priority. But the point is, a wife, a silent, loving woman, it's a gift. The Most High has blessed you with this.
Yeah, the Most High, listen, he'll give you a woman. That's the point. When I look at this scripture, I'm like, Most High, give you a woman. Yeah, ain't nothing you got to do really. But be where you need to be. Be where you know you should be. And he'll give you that. He'll give you that comfort. Right? So he'll give you a woman. He'll give you a wife. He'll give you a partner. If he's giving a man a woman, that means he's giving a woman a man, a husband. Right? So if the Most High is giving it, that means that he made that match. Right? He knows what's good for you. You see that? That's a blessing in itself, knowing that, we're soulmates. Well, how come when the Most High puts you together, you don't look at your soulmates? But you look at soulmates because we like the same football team. Or we like the same. Is it still buffering? Very badly?
Yeah.
If anybody's on the Wi-Fi, hop off of it, please. It has to be about balance. Go ahead.
Wisdom.
But he'll give you what?
Wisdom.
That's not possible, what they teach. But guess what? You
Like that was the first thing on the Spirit's mind. But that's what the Spirit came all the way down to show him.
right. Wow.
Chapter 8 verse 21.
We have low speed, but we got high speed. All that money. You just checked it. And listen, I can't obtain this gift unless it was given to me as a gift. So think about this.
A point of wisdom,
Right?
also to know whose
Right.
gift she was.
That was the whole point of wisdom. That when you got it, you knew where it came from. So wisdom is a gift. Even ones that sit amongst us, I will say it, they don't have the gift because there's certain things they lack in. You may have a form of the wisdom, but to really understand that, wait a minute, I have to set myself under the tutelage of the Most High to get the full blast of that wisdom, to know how to use it. the discernment. We talked about that the other day, right? Derek, you had asked about, even though you have it, being able to discern through it, right? And having the discretion on how hard to hit, how soft to hit. Where do I go with this person's mind or that type of mind, right? Where my rib is in a certain type of mind state.
Dr. Sadie, right? I cured AIDS, I cured cancer, I took 70 people, brought them to court, proved I cured cancer in 3 months. And then you died of pneumonia. But why? Because with all that, right, all he was using it to do was get that money and go live in his little Honduras house, glass house, and smoke weed all day. With his 3, 4, be there. Go live on the beach somewhere. You know what I mean? Go make up a business and just do it. You know what I mean? And he was living there in this acreage. When you go there, it's like paradise. And you got alkaline water flowing out of the hills. Hot, steaming alkaline water where you get in there and your skin feel like it's boiling, but you come out and you just right with the world. He's living on all that. And all he was doing is sitting in a damn house made out of glass smoking weed all damn day.
Yep.
Who else? All these cats, they get these gifts, man. You look, I'm not going to say Nikola Tesla. I don't know what was his trip, but all these people that got gifts, man. Stephen Hawking, right? Supposed to be have all this knowledge, able to extrapolate information from anything he could read and everything like that. And all he's thinking about is outer space, man.
Right? Like maybe you can't even talk without a computer.
Yeah, whether God is or not, like he ain't real. I ain't gotta waste brain power, write books about that.
Nope.
But he spent his whole life proving there ain't no God. Laid on a cat, breathed on him,
It made him come back to
made
life.
him come back to life from death.
Right.
Paul brought a dude back that broke his neck. Judas.
Money. 25 shekels.
Right, let me get this 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah, 25 pieces.
30 pieces of silver is how much you pay for a slave.
Yep.
That's the price of a woman. That you used 30 shekels of silver to redeem a baby girl that was born.
Yep.
Like, you couldn't get more than that from Jesus Christ.
But all he rapped about was
Yeah.
getting high.
Yeah.
I see why the Most High took. I listen to a lot of Pop Smoke. Nah. But every song is about killing somebody, and I'm like, for the nigga that talked about killing everybody and got killed, I can see why he got killed.
Yeah.
Because he used the talent that the Most High gave him to talk about this death. And the death he had the talent to call things to him. Like a lot of us do. He used it.
Look at Paul, man. Paul, he could have got anywhere. He went to Mars Hill, did one little 2-minute speech. These niggas started worshiping him as a god. They was ready to sacrifice animals and do all this for him. He could have lived his life just giving motivational speeches and making money. He said he count all that as dung. So what did the Most High do? He gave him so many revelations, so much information, so much spiritual knowledge that he had to put a damn thorn in his side just to remind him he was a human being. He gave this man godlike knowledge. Why? Because he saw that, listen, he ain't gonna go off with it. He's not going to use it for money or to act like he's Christ and have people worship him. He's going to use his gift and teach people for edification. His death was his fault. It was like, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? Because why? He's checking the law, checking it twice, and he's like, yeah, that nigga blasphemed, kill him. You know what I mean? But what? With all that, then the Holy Spirit had to come hit him and be like, yeah, you got all this knowledge, and I see what you want to do with it. I see your zeal, and you're not wasting it. But let me give you the wisdom on top of it. To where he had to get a thorn in his side just to remind him, hey, you're just a man. Y'all see that? But what do you do with your gifts? What do you do with your gifts?
They wither.
We be asking brothers, like, you brother get a rib, like, what did you think was gonna happen with that? They're like, yeah, we need her to give rides. Yeah, we need her to be at garments. Yeah, we need her to set an example. Yeah, we need her to cook meals. Why? Because what did you think you got the rib for? You thought you got her just so you could hit it? You thought you got it just for you to have fun with? No, you got that rib to be a tool for the Most High's work.
Yep.
You got her to be a help meet for you, to help you do the work.
Yep.
What you think you got that car for? You ain't gonna give rides? Yeah. You got the car because brothers and sisters need rides.
Yeah, the belly and the meats.
Yeah. All of it going.
That's why this scripture is so cold. Read that verse 15 one more time. As it says right exactly what you just said. Read that. Ecclesiastes. Stay at Wisdom of Solomon 8:21 to know that.
How to use it properly.
How to use it properly. So a blessing is purposeless without wisdom. Because he said it. Example. But why I gotta be that for? Oh.
And really, putting your spirit into being used as a
Example to people of what not to do, or you can suffer for right. Don't slip. They're still waiting to pick up the mantle. So it just shows you that even that blessing of being able to lead, being able to be used, we take that for granted because somebody's waiting to take your spot. It may not seem like it because you get to sit around, you get to kick it, you get to procrastinate, you get to say you're gonna do something and don't do it, and it's like I've been doing that for years, right? Then all of a sudden, like the seats start doing what they're doing now. It's almost standing room only up in here, right? It start getting thick. Like, dang, I was in class today. I don't know that, brother. Right? You're like, I don't know that, brother. You're like, right? I don't know that sister. She's where she came from. What's she here to do? And next thing you know, same brother keep coming through, keep learning. Next thing you know, hey brother, step up. Promotion, boom. He's an officer. He's a soldier. He's this. He's that. And you sitting back like, okay. Gotta get on my thing, right? Right. But you should have been on your thing. You forsook the blessing that the Most High gave you to be used as His instrument. You got the vessels of honor and the vessels of dishonor. Ooh. What do we want to be? Ooh. We're blessed. We should be blessed to know that the Most High chose us as the vessels of honor. Go back to. No, I want you to drop that. We already hit that, right? Go to Wisdom of Solomon 7:14.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 14.
Right.
For she is a treasure unto man.
Right. Again, speaking of wisdom, go ahead.
That never faileth.
Go ahead.
Which they that use become the friends of the Most High.
Right. So they that use wisdom or this treasure, they become the friends of the Most High. Go ahead.
Being commended for the gifts that come from learning.
So there's gifts that come from learning. There's gifts that literally come when you learn. Well, what is it? Experience. When you learn something, you're gaining that experience. Experience is, that's one of the things that is very undervalued, but it has no value. Experience, you can't value experience. You can't put a value on that. It's almost priceless. Because experience can dictate and show you what not to do in a situation, more than just words. Having something happen to you, I mean, that trumps having somebody have to tell you words, right? And knowing, well, I shouldn't move off this experience, yes or no, or I should move this way. That's better than somebody sitting there saying, hey, don't do that. That butt whooping, right, or that blessing should dictate, like, yeah, if I do this, then guess what? The Most High is going to do this. If I do this, He's going to do this. Experience. There's gifts that we get from learning. There's gifts that we get from putting our minds in the fetters that the Most High, that those fetters, those chains, that discipline, those scourges, that love. There's gifts from that. But if you're not looking at it the right way, you'll say, well, what's the point? What's the point of all this learning? What's the point of all this being disciplined? What's the point of setting my mind in the fetters, being a slave to wisdom? What's the point, right? Well, there's a gift that comes. Don't forsake the gift. Go from there, go to Ecclesiasticus 1:18. Ecclesiasticus 1:18. So just dealing with a few of the gifts. Go ahead. Ecclesiasticus 1:18.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1 and verse 18.
Go ahead.
The fear of the Most High is a crown of wisdom.
Go ahead.
Making peace.
Making what?
Making peace.
So peace is a gift. Go ahead.
And perfect health.
Go ahead.
To flourish.
Read.
Both which are the gift of Yahweh.
You see that? Peace and health. How many of us have forsaken the peace that we've gotten? Listen, how many of us have... Ask yourself, have you ever had peace in life? Can you really sit back and say, I've attained the level of peace that the Most High has in store for me?
Prior to the truth? Prior to the truth? Doing my own thing?
Of course not.
Fighting
I'm going to
against
answer
the
it
Most
for you. Hell no. You were tormented. No, of course not. But guess what? We thought we had peace. You thought you had peace because you can sit back after a long day, hit the doobie, right? Burn your fingertips, burn your lips.
Nobody's calling you.
Right? Yeah, you can put your phone on silent. You ain't got to deal with nothing. The controller got full batteries.
It's the illusion of
The illusion of peace, the mirage. That fake blessing that comes from the drinking, the bottle, from being, ignoring people, putting things off. I'm going to let video games solve it. I'm going to get medicated, I'm going to hit a few bars, a couple of Xannies. That's going to give me peace. Man, my woman ain't here nagging at me. She went to this grocery store. I got an hour apiece, y'all. Right? You got an hour apiece because she went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
And bring back nothing that you wanted. Nothing you asked her to bring back, but you got peace because she was not there to be silent. That ain't peace. What's that?
This was brought up by Arya in VA.
Go ahead.
But within the imaginations, right?
Okay.
It's called the delusion of grandeur.
Bro, stop. That's not Aria. That's my saying. No,
Oh,
no, the delusion of grandeur.
Just reading this again this is one of the simple ones that first come up. But specifically, a delusion of grandeur is a person's belief that they are someone other than who they are.
I call it the delusions of ganja. Because a lot of us be high as hell. Those are the delusions of ganja. A lot of y'all be high on the devil's lettuce, man. Thinking that something is that it's not. You don't. And the sad part is nobody in here smokes. So be high, somehow diluted, right? Thinking that this is the way it should be. Go ahead, finish it up.
They're high.
Don't make me laugh, man.
They're high off the pollution of Egypt.
They're high off. Yeah, delusions of ganja, delusions of grandeur.
So the last thing, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but the last part it says delusions are generally the result of a mental health disorder.
Woo, yeah, it is. Because you want to see the things the way you want to see it and not how they really are.
Right.
Not how they really are. It's no different. The hand is out. I see the hand, but I don't understand why I gotta do it that way. I don't understand why I gotta go to the Most High and put my hand in His hand and take from His hand when my hands work too, cuz. I know the scripture blesses the Most High that maketh my hands to war, right? You try to pull scriptures on yourself? Nah, that's not what that means.
No, I was just thinking about David on that because he got the blessing. They say you got to fight for peace. There's no peace without war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. He fought.
Oh yeah.
He fought his whole life, and he finally got peace. But what did he do with that blessing of peace? Nothing. They didn't say he was sitting down there studying and he was just rewriting the Torah backward and all that. Nah, he was hanging out on the roof.
On the rooftop.
Right. Okay.
Spying out somebody's wife.
Hey, nigga, what are you doing on the roof?
No, first of all,
Maintenance man.
he woke up like in the evening. So what did he do with that? He slept all the way to the evening. He was chilling. He didn't
know what to do with peace.
Yeah, he didn't use it. But look at Solomon.
Yeah.
Solomon knew what to do with peace. He built a kingdom. He built his home. He built the temple. He built the nation. He kept alliances with these other men of the other nations.
At least 1,000 nations. At least 1,000 provinces.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, 700 wives, princesses.
Yeah.
Those wives were all a king's daughter. That's 700 nations you got
Ties
peace
with.
with.
Yeah. Alliance.
They're going to come back you up if anybody mess with you.
Yeah. He ruled the world. Like the scripture says in Wisdom of Solomon 8, he ruled the world through what the Most High gave him through wisdom. He gave him peace. But I ask the question, how many of us really can truly say we've had peace in our life? Or even know what peace is? We don't even have sometimes the peace of mind to recognize when the Most High has given you that peace. He's giving it to you now. Just open up the book, man. That's it. That's all you got to do is open up the book and let your mind run free. Here, a lot of y'all, the torment of life and trying to keep up with making your own blessings, that's taking you out of peace. Trying to make now that you got the certain things in life, the maintenance of those things, right? Well, I got the car that I couldn't afford because I lived outside my means. Now I got to work 120 hours in a week to pay the car note, plus eat food. Well, no, I'm gonna pay the car note, pay the house, pay the electricity, and I'm not gonna have no food money. So I'm gonna stress over that. Everything's paid, but I ain't got no food. That's how some of our people live. They do things above their means, and then in the hustle and bustle of trying to keep everything down, hold everything down, you still miss something. And that brings on stress. You're out of peace. You see that? So we got to put it back in perspective. Go from there. So we're going to transition to this next point about the scripture said that the blessings come with no variableness. They don't change. Well, go to Proverbs 10:22 real quick. And let's just reiterate what the Most High said about a true blessing.
Yeah, it ain't like the car dealerships where you're pre-qualified for a BMW.
Oh, you walk in?
Yeah, when you get there, they're like, yeah, we ran your credit. And
it goes this 1998 Jetta.
Right?
It goes this 1998 Jetta.
Some leftover Pinto parts.
Yeah. That's how they do you. Like, you're pre-approved for a platinum visa.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the best we can do for you is a $200 secure credit card. Like, how do you go from a platinum visa with $10,000 limit to now I got to put money in?
Yeah, I got to give you money.
Yep.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
That's that variable.
Those are the variablenesses that the Most High don't deal with. Read Proverbs 10:22.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich.
So a blessing can make you rich. A blessing is supposed to flourish. Go ahead.
And he added no sorrow with it.
He does what?
Added no sorrow with
that
it.
variableness, that changing, like all of a sudden I'm rich, but then the blessing made me poor, and that was the Most High's fault? Whoa, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, that it says he don't
add it.
You do.
You do, yeah.
Like Warren used to say, man, he said about depression, he said, how do you get depression? Is you're wanting something that you don't have.
Oh, and who used to deal with that a lot? Yeah, there was somebody that used to deal with that a lot.
A lot of carnal cats, but
yeah.
You're looking at everything you don't have instead of the things you do have. You know what I mean? Like, you're not utilizing what you do have. Like those same brothers, you know what I mean? That, okay, I want more time with my kid. I want more time with my kid. Da, da, da. Okay, well, cool. We'll move you off the mall, and you know you can spend some time. Hey, bro, we're having a get together. Where you at? Oh, I'm in the lanes. Where your son at? He's at home. Like, what? I thought you want to spend more time with your kid. The Most High give you that, and now you out there. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I need time with my rib and da 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 da. Okay, but your rib's so stupid as hell. Are you spending time with her? Well, we got 9 kids now.
Wow.
Oh, you wanted that kind of time with your rib. We thought you was gonna teach her and mold her into a woman of the Most High. Now what? Now they both gone. Now the kid, and the rib is gone. Y'all see that? Why? Because you're not paying attention to what you're gonna do with that blessing. You're not saying, okay, you know what? I gotta make sure. The Most High said He's not gonna add sorrow to it. I gotta make sure I don't add sorrow to it. I got to look at the things I have and take advantage and utilize those things and make those grow instead of looking at what I don't have. I got to bring up this one more. King Ahab, when he killed that brother for his vineyard, it said he offered the brother, he said, I'll give you a vineyard, or he said, I'll give you one, he said, I'll give you a bigger one, or I'll give you one better than the one you have.
Right.
If you have a vineyard better than his, what the hell you want his for?
Right.
Like, what was the point of that? I was just listening to it the other day. I was like, wow, I thought maybe he wanted to expand his vineyard, but he said he would give him one better than that. So you already have one better. What's the bargain here? I just want your shit? Excuse me, but like, that's why you're depressed. That's why he was going crying to his rib all the time. I want something, I just want the one thing I don't have. I already got orchards and hectares of land and I own all of Israel, but I want his stuff.
I mean, isn't that like the human condition to always want the one thing you can't
The
have?
eyes of man are never full.
The eyes of man are never full.
Yeah.
We always want the things that we can't have, and then the things that we do have, we take them for granted. We don't put into them to build it into what you want.
Yeah, and that's what causes that sorrow, man. The Most High didn't give it to you with sorrow. And, oh man, I didn't know it was going to be all this responsibility. No, you added the sorrow to it. You added the sorrow by either not being educated on what the responsibility was going to be, or you added the sorrow by making it something that's now a burden on you, or you added the sorrow by looking at something that you shouldn't be looking at. Like we keep bringing up about, brother get a rib. You get a rib, but you always on Tinder and TikTok and Instagram looking at these chicks with the inflatable chestises. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you looking at this chick with a superhero, all plastic Barbie doll figure, and then you start looking at your rib like, but dude, but your rib cooks for you, cleans for you. She worked 3 jobs like a damn Mexican. You know what I mean? And she cook you meals that you can't even get at the damn restaurant.
Right.
And you still looking at this blown up, glow in the dark Tinder 4-legged animal. You know what I mean? You looking at this chick lusting after her. And then getting depressed because you ain't got that. Like I be looking at these chicks. Have you gone through TikTok? Have you done the swipe up for like maybe 20 minutes straight? They all start looking the same.
Yep.
They all look like a knockoff Kim Kardashian. They done put that little cut thing on their lip.
Oh, and pull the lips out?
Yeah, where they all look like they got lipo. They all got a BBL. That's the Brazilian butt lift. All right, if you don't know. They all doing that. They all getting their chest fake and everything like that. And they all got a fans only page. And if you do like this fast enough, they all look like the same chick.
No, check this out.
And these dudes is lusting for them. Like you look in the comments and just
Look.
all
you got to do is go on Instagram and just hit the search.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They just all
There you
look
go.
the same.
Yeah.
This is just you just hit search.
It could be a sister, a white woman. It could be it don't matter. They all, the Asian chicks got lips. The damn Asians got lips. You know what I mean? And butts.
Don't look at that.
They all look the damn same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everybody looks. But think about it. All you had to do, if you wanted something that was, because all of this is flesh, right? All you got to do, if it was about your rib looking a certain way, without having to go get her surgery and BBLs,
Yeah, take her
right?
ass
Just
out back.
take her to the gym.
Run some laps with her.
Yeah,
Do
just
some
take her to the
sit-ups.
gym. Right there in the middle of the living room while y'all watching Friends.
Suction cup her face.
Don't do that part. Don't do that part. But while y'all sitting there watching Friends or your favorite little sitcom that y'all watch, have her do some stretches and some sit-ups.
Put in
Right?
the work. Yeah.
I mean, right there. Hey, let's
Maintain
stretch.
your
Let's
blessing.
do this. Let's do that. And let's get you up to speed. That's it. And there's going to be a benefit for her and for you.
So the Most High told David, if you wanted all those things, all you had to do was ask me.
I would have gave you that and more when
Yeah.
he took Bathsheba. And David had wives.
Yeah.
He had women. He already had, it came back and said he took more concubines and wives.
21 wives, man.
So if you wanted Bathsheba, all he had to do was ask.
Even
Or
when he
something like
was
it.
old, his bed warmer was the baddest Issacharite in the land. Just his bed warmer. He never even touched her.
Yeah. How we all want to be like David. How we all wish. I don't want to lose my warmth, but in the case that I can't produce my own heat, I'm going to have to go to that scripture. You know what I'm saying? And, God. Give me a Benjamite, though, because they cook the best. Let's go. I had to slide that in there on y'all. I had to get y'all on that one.
So you sleeping on Gad, man. Gad
I'm
got
not,
Navajo taco.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just saying.
Well,
Let's go to Proverbs. Read that one more time. Proverbs 10:22, and then I want you to jump down to Proverbs 10:4.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22.
Right?
The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich,
Now we can't.
and he addeth no sorrow with it.
Because he does what?
And he addeth no sorrow with
Right.
it.
The Most High don't add the sorrow to the blessings that he gives you. That's the condition of man. We add the sorrow through our laziness, through our slothfulness, our lack of vision, our lack of ambition, our lack of care. Proverbs 10:4, read that.
Verse 4. He becometh poor.
Wait, but hold on. The scripture said a blessing make you rich. Go ahead.
That dealeth with a slack hand.
So you get the blessing. You get the gift. Baby, it's a gift. You get the silent and loving woman. Why does she turn loud and disgruntled? Ooh. You get the wisdom, but how come you don't know how to use it? You get the understanding. You get the knowledge. Why do you puff up? Why is there always a counterbalance to these things? Or what the Bible says, a variable. Why is there a variable with knowledge? Well, I got knowledge, but knowledge puff you up. But it also says knowledge will lift you out of a low estate. Right? You got to be careful how you use the knowledge. And you got to maintain yourself in using it the proper way. Discretion, discernment. Or else you'll be lifted out of a poor estate and then you'll lift yourself past everyone. Now you're untouchable. Now you're unreproachable. You see that? So you got to be careful with that. Allow a silent and loving woman is a gift. But why does she become loud and disgruntled and unbelieving? Well, because you didn't put the time in to maintain that silence, that loving. You didn't show her the importance of why she was how she was when she first came.
in that silence, that vacuum of silence, you didn't open your mouth and fill her up with wisdom.
Yeah.
You didn't talk. You just let it be silent. Like, yeah, I'm just loving the silence.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
She's good because she ain't talking. Like, what? That's the worst. That's the worst. Like, well, how's she doing? Oh, she's good. Well, how you know? Well, she ain't really saying too much. Red flag. Right, red flag.
That just means the demons are like building up and marinating.
You know, you
getting
get
that nice flavorful.
Yeah. You know, you get flagged in soccer. Boom. Right. What is it? Red card.
Red
You
card.
get a red carded. Red card because them demons is bubbling. It's waiting for its opportunity because you didn't take the opportunity to constantly go in and maintain something as simple as, how was your day? Oh yeah? Well, what about that? Tell me more. Explain. Oh yeah, how'd you handle that? How'd you do it? How'd you do that? How'd you feel about that?
God.
Well, what I would have did was, or you know what? That was right on point. Need you to handle this. Need you to take care of this. Need you to do this.
Or even try her.
And that's what I was saying. With the try, I need you to do this. I need you to handle this. Because it's going to try that love and that silence in her. It's going to try that love. Like, is she really loving? Well, is she willing to give herself? Is she willing to put herself on the line? Go ahead.
Like, how did David know Abigail was a good woman?
Oh,
He saw what she was with. Like, you're with Nabal? Damn. You still act like this?
Yeah. Yep. He tried that wisdom. He said, bless me thy advice.
Like the way Nabal would talk to everybody, he just off to everybody. You know what I mean? He just didn't have no discretion, no tact.
Yep.
And she put up with that, and she was still a silent and loving woman. Okay, well I know that's somebody I can mess with because she already been tried. But do you try your woman? Do you? Hey, I'm gonna say something in a over masculine tone. Hey, go get me a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just to see how she reacts. You know what I mean? Or are you just enjoying the silence? You just enjoying her plotting on you, ready to put arsenic in your cereal and everything? You enjoying that? You know what I mean? What's he?
Because you think that that's the blessing is the silence, where the blessing was the actual the person, the woman. But the blessing can it says the blessing flourishes, right?
Yeah.
How do I bring out more than just because is a wife just a silent and loving woman? Oh, she's silent and loving. She's a good wife. Nah. What about all the other virtues? Who can find a virtuous wife? Right. So you gotta now pull out all the other virtues in her. Where's her peace at? Where's her joy? Where's her love? Her long suffering? Her compassion? Where's all these things that I'm supposed to have? How do we make sure that she has them?
Yeah. Her silence and lovingness is the equivalent of you getting an empty glass. You get to fill it with whatever you want to.
Yep.
That's the gift the Most High gave you.
Yep. Because it goes out and tells you.
Them loud ones, it's like they said, if two people were talking, nobody's listening.
Yep.
Right? So her being silent is the equivalent of you getting that empty glass. You get to put all the Kool-Aid in there you want to. Whatever flavor.
That continent mind.
God.
That well instructed.
But like it says, man, if every man is going to be tried according to his works, whether he build on that foundation, wood, hay, stubble, right? You're going to get tried. That day is going to declare it. Because you're going to bring her to class one day and she's just going to blow the hell up.
Well, he does this, and he does this, and he does. Oh, we've seen it. We be sitting here, and sisters just be quiet for months, and the next thing you know, her hand goes up like this, and we're like, "Oh, sis," and she's like, "Yeah, I have a question," and it's not a question, it's a statement. Yeah, she just start dropping everything that he's doing in the house, and we're like, "Damn, she talks."
So what if your husband about 5'10", 250, sitting right there, and
you know what I mean? Like, whoa, sis.
And she just started, and he's doing this, but the scriptures say this, and you're like, damn, she reads. Talks and she reads, okay, and she's just dropping it. You were supposed to take that time to maintain that silence. That silence ain't her being a mute and dumb. But it's like Thawam said, it's perfect. You were able to put things into that cup, that continent mind, instruct that. Go from there. So we understand that, right?
God.
So go from there, go to Ecclesiasticus 10:18. I'm going to jump a few.
God.
Ecclesiasticus 10:18.
Ecclesiasticus.
This is one of my favorite scriptures that keeps my mind at the ready and understanding that maintenance is important in all things. Just like you maintain that car, just like you maintain your beard, right? Brothers maintain their groomed look, right? You maintain your clothing, you wash them, you scrub the dirt off the shoes. Anything you have, you maintain it. If you own a house, what do? You maintain your home, right? Or else, what's the point? You got a 30-year loan and the house broke down in 5? You want your money back, right? But that's your fault. Maintain the house. You wash the vinyl siding, right? You get the high pressure hose and you wash the house. You ever see somebody wash their house?
Power washer.
Yeah, you're supposed to wash your house, right? You wash your driveway with a power washer. Your garage, if you got oil stains, right? You might 10 years down the line repaint your walls, right? Why? Because you want to keep up that appearance. Right? You might redo your windows, redo your doors. Oh, there's a draft coming through. Wait a minute. Let me get some new doors. Yeah. Let me get some new windows. Oh, the water heater went out. Well, we're just going to have to rock with that one until we move. Or do you get a new water heater? You get a new water heater, right? You don't just leave the one that's there that's broke. You replace the water heater, furnace, or the stove, or the microwave, just the way you go home. But go ahead, read this.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 18.
Right?
Pride was not made.
No. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Slakia.
God.
But that was a good one too. That was a good one too, but not for this topic.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 18.
Right?
By much slothfulness,
go ahead.
The building decayed.
Now, think about a building that has decayed. Like, think about if we didn't come to class for about a week and a half during the feast, right? Did the building just start to decay? No, right? It would take, think about it. It would take some time for a building to start decaying. What's that?
It's like my grandma was in the house for like almost 20 years.
Uh-huh.
My grandma passed away, she's been gone for like 16 years, so she maintenance.
16 years?
16 years.
Right?
Should do no maintenance. And so my brother's doing it, and he's had to completely like uplift the whole flooring, everything, like all of it, walls, all new stuff.
16 years though.
Yeah.
But think about it. For year after year after year, for 16 years, she just let things overgrow.
Like, for example, like, I didn't know this, and I found this out from, like, her house, because my cousins don't live there.
Uh-huh.
If you leave toothpaste on your sink, it'll actually decay and eat at the metal.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
all the time, just
You're just
toothpaste
eating it away.
is eating away at the metal on the sink.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's. Damn, just squirting the toothpaste in the sink?
Yeah.
Or just not rinsing out the basin? That's
Just
why you
like
gotta rinse out the
yeast,
sink, bro.
yeast.
Yeah, but that's letting things just pile up, right? Think about those hoarders. Y'all ever watch Hoarders? They be like, yeah, she lived in this house for 30 years, and you can see it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you know, the family cat disappeared 25 years ago. They start digging up the floor, and the family cat is under the Coke bottles.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, the family cat is like stamped to the floor. Because why? All that slothfulness. And they got trash piled up. I seen one house. She had upstairs. She had trash on the lower level so high it went up the steps with her. She was living in a room on top of trash. She couldn't live downstairs. They were walking step level on trash on the lower level of the house.
Yeah.
Through much slothfulness, the house decayed. Now, I want y'all to think about this, though. It says what it says, through much slothfulness. But really, with our spirits, it only takes but a moment. It only takes a few days for you to not pay attention, for something to take hold. It only takes a few days. It only takes a moment. Because now, a house and a spirit are different. It's equating it to it. But think about it. Think about how, if you get lazy in one aspect, how quick it is to follow that path of laziness and slothfulness. Well, you know, I ain't going to study today. So, yeah, you don't study. But the next day, something comes up where you can't study. You didn't even have it in your mind that you weren't going to. You just couldn't. Then something else comes up. Then something else comes up. You just went a whole week without cracking the book. But then you can see your spirit starting to be different. You're like, man, why am I thinking like this? And you go back, like, when's the last time I read? Oh, wow. Last Sabbath class, 2 weeks ago. Right? 2 weeks. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit. Or 21 days to break a habit. That's what they say. I mean, I think you can start a habit right there on the spot if you want to. But to embed a habit in your spirit, they say it takes 21 days. Sis.
Funny while we were talking about that, because I sent a message to my daughter today because she was doing something that was negative.
Uh-huh.
And it was actually from Aristotle. It says, we are what we do repeatedly. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. So
Right.
it's kind of like it's what you're doing constantly, you know, it's a habit. So it can be something really good or something really bad. So for her, it was like she was doing something bad. So like it's really like a habit.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The more you do something, the more it becomes, that's why I use the word habitual. It becomes habitual. If you always lying, you're a habitual liar. You see that? You're a habitual offender if you're always getting caught doing the same things. But you can build, the same thing with slothfulness. But there's a effect on being slothful. The blessings that you've been given, that house, right? Your spiritual house. If you can look at anything as a house or as a building or as something that needs to be maintained. As soon as you step off, think about how quickly a car can just be ran down if you don't maintain it. About 3 months.
Yeah.
About 3 months, and that car can, you eat in the car every day, you don't wash it, you don't oil change, you start not putting the right gas, that car can go from a pristine automobile to just something raggedy on wheels. It's how you maintain it. Through much slothfulness, go ahead.
And through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through.
Yeah, when you just stop putting in that work, that house is just going to fall. This is going to implode on itself. When you stop putting the work in with your wife, she's just going to implode on you. She's going to become the opposite of the blessing. She's going to be the sorrow in your life. Because now you got to put that much more work to bring her back. It's one thing to go inside of a house and remodel, and you got walls and all that stuff to work on. But it's another thing to have to pick up rubble, move the debris, and then remodel, right? It's two different things. It's two different jobs. It's more painstaking to have to lift that debris up when you could have just did the maintenance to keep those walls intact, keep those windows intact. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go from there. Go to
Connie, and you'll realize that the maintenance is a lot easier than the repair, because if you have to just continue, add a little bit, check that oil, change that, the little things, instead of just, because if you're in the chat or if you're in here, raise your hand if it's easier to drop $100 on something, or is it easier to drop 10,000 at one time? What's easier? The 100, little 100 there, little 50, and that's what the maintenance is. Just a little upkeep. But then when all of a sudden you got to drop a big load, you got to drop some money on something, that's like, man, it hurts. It's hurting. I don't even know if I got enough to take care of that. Think about, do you even have enough in you to handle the problems that you let build up within your gift because of the lack of maintenance? Now you got to try to go get a loan. You got to loan the spirit of another brother. You got to, hey brother, you got some more of your spirit you can loan me to help me deal with what I got going on over here.
I need another contract over there.
You got to get
a roofer. You need a roofer, plumber.
Roofer, plumber. So you hit Quatazab, Bahawam, Zion, Kazak. Okay, can we get this project together? Because I got a lot going on here that I haven't kept up with the maintenance that I need to get taken care of before my house fall through.
All you had to do was paint the walls, but now you got to do a whole remodel.
Done.
Very, 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 very. It's what do they say? Hustling backwards.
Hustling backwards.
Right, and you're not using the blessing for its purpose. Go to Proverbs real quick. Go to Proverbs 19:23.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 23.
Go ahead.
The fear of the Most High tendeth to life.
Right, you see that? The fear of the Most High tendeth to life. So you're going to tend to the things and do the things that promote longevity, life, sustaining, maintenance. Go ahead, but that's only if you got the fear of the Lord in you. That's only if you understand, wait a minute, who gave me this blessing? No matter what it is, who gave me the wisdom? Who gave me the knowledge? Well, I got to do the things to maintain the wisdom in me, maintain the goodness in me. Who gave me the ability to do good? Or who showed me the ability to do good? Who gave me the ability to, what he said about perfect health, right? Who gave me that ability to acquire this perfect health? Well, I gotta maintain it. I gotta maintain the health. They say that if you go to the gym for like 6 months, and if you miss 3 days, you're automatically out of shape. 3 days makes you out of shape of not going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's wild, right? Think about that. 3 days and you're out of shape. You would be considered, not that you're flabby and sick, but you just be considered out of shape.
You also lose the habit.
You lose the habit. Yeah, because you're breaking one habit for another habit.
Right.
And then you gotta train your mind to get back into the swing of things.
It's your heart.
Huh?
It's your heart. It's your heart, because your heart is actually out of it's called aerobics heart.
Okay.
Okay, so if you stop doing the aerobics heart, keeping your heart pumping, it starts to subside after you stop exercising.
And it don't take that long.
No, so when you start to exercise again, that's why you get the huffing and puffing so much, because your heart's not used to it.
Yeah.
After 3 days.
That's wild though.
You gotta keep it going.
Think about it, you go to the gym for 6 months straight, but in 3 days you'll be considered out of shape.
I didn't know that.
It doesn't take as long as you think for changes to happen physically and spiritually. So if you're physical in 3 days, think about your spirit in 1 day. If you don't keep your mind on the Most High in 1 day, in 1 hour, in 1 minute, the things that can happen. If you don't maintain that connection. You got something? Go ahead.
And he that hath it shall abide satisfied.
Go ahead.
He shall
what?
abide satisfied.
See, the blessings that you've been given, those will be your satisfaction. You won't be looking to other people's. You won't be looking at other people's blessings like, man, I want that. I need that. How come I don't have that? You'll be able to be satisfied and content with what the Most High has given you, because you'll be tending to your blessings and promoting growth in your blessing. Go ahead.
He shall not be visited with evil.
That blessing won't turn to sorrow. He shall not be visited with evil. A lot of our evil comes from the things that we've been given in righteousness that we haven't maintained in righteousness. That's where you're. I mean, come on, let's be real. A lot of brothers is dealing with rib issues. A lot of brothers is dealing with just people issues. Why? Because you don't know how to. You didn't properly use the wisdom to guide your home, guide that family member, guide your rib, guide yourself. So a lot of us are dealing with that sorrow and that heartache of, well, I didn't come to Christmas, so now they're giving me hell. Well, you should have maintained that relationship the right way. It says, he that feareth the Lord will direct his friendships the right way. We were supposed to use the wisdom to guide the blessings. Y'all understand this? We can't be slothful. Go ahead.
A slothful man hideth his hand in his bosom.
Go ahead.
And will not so much as bring it to his mouth again.
Yeah, a slothful man won't even bless himself. Think about it. He won't even maintain himself as the blessing, because he won't feed himself. That's what it's saying here. He won't lift his hand out of his chest from his side to feed himself. You're a blessing also, right? Are we not? But he won't even feed himself. He won't open up the book. Y'all think it's just about eating food, right? Y'all thought it was just about eating food? Yeah, he's supposed to open this book and feed himself. He's supposed to get around like-minded people and pick up on the experiences. The scriptures say iron sharpeneth iron. See, a diligent man was going to go be sharpened. A diligent woman would go be sharpened, not run from the sharpening and then say, well, I don't know why I ain't getting it. You see that? That eating, that partaking, yeah, physical food. But what about your spirit? What about doing the things that's going to make you better? That's going to make you a blessing to the body. That's going to make you, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to make you fulfill your purpose to the 100%, to the fullest. A lot of us wonder, why am I not fulfilling my purpose that I'm called? Well, you're not doing the things for you to flourish. You're not doing the things for you to abound more and more. Go from there. Go to Proverbs 24 and verse 30. As a vineyard. Now it's just a wasteland. Go ahead.
And lo, it was all grown over with thorns.
What's the point of a vineyard that's overgrown with thorns? Where's the profit? A vineyard was supposed to be a blessing that made you rich. Right? It wasn't that, oh, I got a vineyard, I'm good. But you were supposed to put in work for grapes and things to grow that you can become profitable. Y'all understand this? Now, again, it talks about a house decaying. It talks about a vineyard. These are just, you can look at these things as metaphoric for your spirit, metaphoric for, listen, whatever blessing the Most High gave you, that you consider a blessing.
And he's actually showing you how much upkeep your spirit requires, man. Because if you ever look at a vineyard, it's not just, people just like, oh, you just grow some grapes, right? Throw grape seed in the ground, and boom, a vine pops out, right? Nah. When it gets a certain temperature, you got to go out there. It was a movie I was watching, man, where they had a vineyard. But basically, to keep the frost off the grapes, they had to go out there and light little bonfires in each row. And then they had to fan the heat from the bonfire down each row to keep the frost. And they had to do that all night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to keep that frost from killing the grapes. Because if the frost mess up the grape, one or two grapes, The whole vineyard's done. You can't grow no. You can't make no wine or nothing like that.
They get too soft. The grapes.
Yeah.
The frost eats
the
them.
the whole. See, with wines, it's a bouquet, so people can smell when the grapes are bad. You know what I mean? You can taste that first little taste and know the grapes were bad. And so the grapes go bad. That's done, and all it takes is one little degree. You know what I mean? Or you get too hot outside. You didn't go out there and maintain. You didn't go out there and put your little stands up to provide shade. That whole crop is done, and your crop don't grow back till next year. So you done lost all the wine you was gonna make from that. You done lost all the grapes you were gonna make from that because you weren't maintaining it. And your spirit is the same way. All it takes is a thought. That's why we're talking about your spirit, not your soul. Your soul don't change. You know what I mean? But your spirit, that's changeable. Why? Because those are your thoughts. So what does it take? We tell brothers all the time, yeah, listen, brother, you don't need to be reading that book right now. Why? Because that one little thought, you know what I mean? I read a book one time, man, and every time I looked at this certain scripture, it was like, okay, I got to rethink now. It doesn't mean that. It's some other stuff I read, but now I keep interpreting this scripture like that. You know what I mean? And you got to dig into your brain and root that thought out like a seed. Right. Like a weed, actually. You know what I mean? And if you don't maintain a vineyard like that, you don't go out there and weed it out. Put your repellents down. You can't spray bug repellent on grapes you're gonna eat. Right. You can't go out there with some damn what's that? The stuff everybody getting cancer from? Roundup. You can't go out there with Roundup, spray all your grapes with it. So what do you got to do? You got to have understanding. You got to go out there, put the cedar trees out there once in a while. You know what I mean? Or fence it off in cedar. You know what I mean? You got to put you got to know what kind of sprays you can make that are going to kill the bugs and preserve the plant.
Oh, like a natural repellent.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's something with like matchsticks. You can put them in water and let the nutrients and all that grow from them and spray your plants down. It feeds the plants and all that. Putting cinnamon and yogurt and water and mixing it all up, spraying your plants with it kills the bugs. Natural insect repellent. But if you don't have understanding, if you don't research, and you think I'm gonna put some grape seeds out, and in a year I'm gonna have some wine. Bruh. I've been making wine for a year right now. Yep. You gotta go stir that up, smell it, make sure, it gotta be airtight, because if air gets in there, it messes the whole fermentation process up. You gotta maintain just that. And I'm making the simple wine. I'm not even making the damn grape wine, where you gotta put it in special barrels and do all that. Nah, that takes maintenance. So, these things that he's bringing up about a house that's not being maintained, or a vineyard that's not being maintained, he's giving you high maintenance items. That's what your spirit is. Because all Satan got to do is, how many men that got messed up because their woman put a little seed in that field? You know what I mean? How many did we watch in the scriptures fall for that? Oh yeah, Solomon turned to these in love. Next thing you know, he's worshiping strange gods. You know what I mean? Wait, your dad worshiped the Most High his whole life with only one failure. You led all of Israel to sin because of women. Samson, right? Put that little just drop little water just on his forehead. Chinese water torture every day. You know what I mean? You should have told me. Fine. Right? And what? Lost everything. Y'all see that? Your spirit is changeable. It requires high maintenance. You can't take it for granted. Oh, the Most High gave me the Holy Spirit. I'm just going to be there for life. No, you're not. No, you're not. Most High gave it to Solomon. He fell off. Most High gave it to David. He fell off once. You know what I mean? He gave it to all these great mighty men who fell off. Y'all see that?
God.
Why? Because they wouldn't maintain their spirit. They wouldn't maintain the blessing of their spirit. Right?
The blessing of that wisdom, yeah. Where you at? Read verse 30 one more time. Very, 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 very important.
Proverbs chapter 24, verse 31.
Right.
And lo, it was all grown over with thorns and nettles.
Read verse 30.
I went by the field of the slothful.
Or I went and I saw the blessing of a slothful man. Go ahead. I seen the rib of this man that was slothful. Man, and when she first came in, she was glowing. She was angelic. She was in there. She was humble. But now she just looked like she's ready to kill herself. Like she's ready to commit suicide. She looks like she's ready to implode. The children of a slothful man. Disgruntled, loud, headstrong. You could remove the word field and put anything there. It's showing you that this is how the slothful, their blessings go from a blessing that can make you rich to something that's overgrown and unprofitable. Go ahead.
And you know what's messed up? It's not that they were always slothful all the time. Because how did you get the field? How did you get the woman? How did you get these things?
Right.
At some point, you was putting in the work, but what did you do? You gave up or you got prideful?
Or you got, oh, wow, oh. No,
you thought it was just going to be there forever. It was going to maintain itself. You know what I mean? I did that when I made that mistake when I was youthful. You know what I mean? I was doing management at Domino's Pizza. And I went to this one, they transferred me over to this one where the guy that trained me at my previous location, he was there. He was the GM there. So I got there, man, and everything's like kind of like a well-oiled machine at the spot I was at. So I'm like, okay, well, he's running that one. Let me go over there. Well, these people under him got a whole different set of problems. So, he leaves me there like for 2 hours one time. The whole store about to go up in flames, man. I'm like cussing out customers, cussing out drivers, cussing out people on the line, everything. And, I call him up. I'm like, man, I'm ready to quit, blah, blah, blah. He's like, he comes back and he just, stop making pizza, stop this. But basically, I thought it was going to be like a well-oiled machine because that's how he ran it. But I didn't understand. I had to run this one. You know what I mean? He left me there so I could learn to run the stuff the way he did it. And I had to learn from scratch with some whack-ass people and everything. You know what I mean? But he was like, I got to go. He wanted me to learn how to run that and know that I'm not just going to give you a well-oiled machine. I'm going to give you something you got to put your work into. Y'all see that? And that's what you're looking at with the slothful. I saw the field of the slothful. That means this man has a field.
Yep.
But he got prideful having the field, and he didn't think it required maintenance. Or he thought it was going to run itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get that good wife, and she makes that one good meal and put the Salt Bay on it. You know what I mean? And you like, oh, okay, bet. She's already made rib. And you leave her alone for 2 weeks, and you come home like, whose car that in the driveway? You know what I mean?
Mother nigga, she's cooking for.
Yeah, you know what I mean? What's that bump in your belly? What is this?
Right.
You cooking my eggs for that nigga? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Why? Because you didn't maintain the possession. You didn't maintain the blessing. You thought it was going to run itself. No, the Most High gave it to you so that you could put your work into it, not his work. He did the work in shoving her into your life. Y'all see that? Well, for women with kids, for women with the blessing of a husband, he did the work by giving that man to you. Your job is to maintain your position and not be a drag and a snag of death to him. You understand? That's your job, and all you got to do is maintain that. But where you get these husbands where it says they got weak knees, feeble hands, right? I don't want to go home. Let's just drink some more. You know what I mean? Hey, what game you watching? Oh, you ain't watching it? You want to watch again? Like, damn, bro, you ain't got a house? Yeah, but my woman there. I mean, I got a house when she leave.
Dang, I got a house when she leave.
Yeah, like, damn. What's the problem? I'm not maintaining my possession. I'm not maintaining my blessing. And then my woman, she's not maintaining her blessing of having a man of wisdom. She's not being the empty glass I can fill up. She's being the I know it all, and I'm going to tell you all of it. You know what I mean? And not stop. So now what do you got? You got two people who don't know how to maintain a blessing that either was given to them or they was already in their possession. That's what I say. You're reading this, you got to understand. This man didn't just be slothful. You don't get a field by being slothful. You get a field by at one time you was putting in work. At one time you was doing what you were supposed to do, and then you left off.
Yeah, and that's why I went to those first scriptures to show who was the Most High blessing. Yep. He was blessing the just man, the righteous man, right? Go from the diligent, yeah. Go read on. Read 30 and 31. Somebody else get me Deuteronomy 32:15. Read that. Go ahead.
I went by the field of the slothful,
right,
and by the vineyard of the man void of understanding. And lo, it was all grown over, with thorns and nettles had covered the face thereof.
Yeah, that voidness of understanding, that's key. Because like he was going into, you didn't know what it took to maintain. You thought the grapes was going to grow itself. You thought she was going to be a rib on her own. You thought because she wore a skirt that she was already in there. You thought because he had a beard that he was just the epitome of righteousness. There was a maintenance that had to take place.
Yeah, one time this sister, she was Islam, so she already knew about wearing the head covering, praying, 5 times a day and all that. So I'm like, that's easy. Move her in, bruh. That chick was like, even brothers was like, she's like a witch or like a black cat or something. She was sitting on a part of the sofa after class and just like sit in the corner of it with her feet all tucked up into it, like she was like avoiding a bomb or something. You like, what the hell is wrong with this crazy chick, man? You know what I mean?
But rapping a damn 5 times a day praying didn't mean nothing.
Yeah, that's all it was. It was like I didn't fill her with the wisdom I had. I thought it was like, okay, boom, she's already ready to go, man. She know what to do. You know what I mean? Quran, Bible, same thing. Like, you got this. Hell no. You got to put in your work. You understand? That's why he's showing you, man. You got to. It can't be about being slothful, youthful. You got to put away youthful lust. Y'all got to stop wanting things just because your young mind says, "Oh, that's cool. I want it." No, you better be ready to maintain it. Y'all understand?
Go from there. Go to, y'all can read down in it just for time, but go to Deuteronomy 32:15.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 15.
Right.
But Jeshurun waxed fat.
Go ahead, because Jeshurun, the upright one. The upright one, he got the blessing, but he waxed fat, he kicked. Go ahead.
Thou art waxing fat.
Go ahead.
Thou art grown thick.
Right.
Thou art covered with fatness.
Yeah, them blessings were flourishing. You got fat with the blessings. Not one rib, got 2. Not one car, you got 2. Not a few kids, you got a tribe. Not a little bit of breakdown in wisdom, man. You got it down. He's in there. They say all can't be in the spirit of man, but man, there's something about that brother. He got it. He looked through that Bible, but he got lazy. He waxed fat and he kicked up his feet like a whole lion. He crouched down and did not get up. Go ahead.
Then he forsook the Most High, which made him.
See, he forgot who made him, and the making him, who blessed him, who got him that fatness, who makes us. Well, it says the hand of the Lord brings prosperity. Read.
And lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation.
You lightly esteem the rock of your salvation, meaning what? You forgot that it's going to take work to continue that fatness, that thickness, those blessings. You esteemed what the Most High said was the maintenance. Right? So go from there. I want to read this one. Go to Hebrews 6 and 7. And then we'll get 2 more. Go to Hebrews 6 and 7. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 6, verse 7. For the earth was drinketh in the rain that cometh up on it.
Read.
And bringeth forth herbs, meat for them by whom it is dressed.
Go ahead.
receiveth blessing from the Most High.
Right. So the herbs, the grass, that's a blessing from the Most High. Right? That's just like that vineyard. That when it grows the grapes, man, the Most High blessed it. But he said he went by the vineyard of the slothful and it was overgrown with thorns and thistles. Go ahead.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected.
It's what?
Is rejected.
It's what?
Is rejected.
It's how your blessing becomes a rejection. This is how now your blessing becomes a curse. Because you allowed it to grow over with negative. You allowed the weeds to take over. That the scriptures talk about weeds as like a little seed of evil. Right?
God.
You allow those things to take root and not the good qualities. Now that blessing is no longer, it's a curse, man. Now that woman, now that car, that job, that free time, right? That brothers are so covetous of. That's not really free time. All these things that can be blessings, that the Most High does give us to be prosperous, they all now can be the thing that gets you rejected. That gets you pushed out the way because you didn't maintain it. You didn't use it the proper way. Nothing wrong with having a job. But if you know you got to be a part of the school, you got to set things in order. Nothing wrong with having free time, but if you know that you got to be an example and be a leader, then you better use that free time to build yourself into such. There's nothing wrong with, wanting to spend time with your rib. Nothing wrong with that. But if now your time is always her time, there's a problem. There's a problem there. Those things are what is going to now be looked at as what needs to be burned up and rejected. Go ahead.
And is nigh unto cursing.
Is what?
Is nigh unto cursing.
I mean, the Bible said it. It's nigh unto cursing, man. When it's overgrown with thorns and thistles, it's a curse. Read.
Whose end is to be burned.
Go ahead. Go to Ecclesiasticus 20 and verse 17. You want?
Oh.
Yeah.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 20, verse 17. How oft and of how many shall
read it one more time.
How oft and of how many shall he be laughed to scorn?
Because people see that you had something, you had it going on, just like we keep hitting these vineyards and these fields. You had something that would produce for you. The train was rolling at one point. Everything was pumping on all cylinders.
Well-oiled machine?
A well-oiled machine. Right. But then all of a sudden, it looked like trash. It looked like something to be burnt now. It's like how awful people like, man, this dude was on it. Now look what he got. He all fat, lazy, vineyard overgrown, hoarding. It's like, what happened to this? What happened to this dude?
So they laugh him to scorn, man. Because they're like, wait, I would have did something with that.
Right. let me get that. I would have put that to use. Read on.
For he knoweth not aright.
Go ahead.
What it is to have.
He didn't know how to have what the Most High had given him. He didn't know how to handle the blessing. You got to handle these blessings in a certain way. If you're not handling it in a way that the Most High had directed, like we bring out the example of in a camp, in a body. Well, everything that in the body is used to serve the body. Just the toes serve the foot. The foot serves the ankle serves the shins, the knees, the thighs, all the way up. We all serving each other. So you're not going to have a pinky toe just jump off and say, I'm going to do my own thing. The body's going to hurt. It's going to feel it. He didn't know how to have what the Most High gave him. He let it fall apart. It's just like someone that got gangrene. It's just sitting there growing and festering, and they got to get cut off now. It's like, bro, how come you didn't take care of yourself? How come you didn't hit the antibiotics? How come you didn't go to the doctor? You didn't know what it was to have. Read on.
Because we've been really talking about like brothers and ribs. and like the man getting the blessing of a wife. But some of you women,
It goes the other way too.
some of you women really got to wake up and understand. All you have to do is just look at life, your whole life as a whole, and just look at your past relationships. And you got to, I mean, if you're dealing with a righteous man, a man that's in the knowledge, trying to do better, he's trying to teach you, he's trying to spiritually guide you, and not just, oh, I'm going to use you for your body, use you for your money, smack you around, kick you down the steps. He's literally trying to do the right things according to the scriptures. You got to sit back and look at what you got. Think about it. When you get a vineyard, do you buy the vineyard off of what it looks like at the time, or off of the potential of what it's going to bring? Right? So if a man gets a woman, it's not off of always what she is at that time. It's, wait a minute, can she be more? Right? A lot of you women look at what, because, you know, we got young brothers in the school. They're trying to get it. They're trying to develop themselves into these godly men. And you looking at, well, this is how he is now. But are you considering what is he going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Because he's growing, he's changing, right?
Right.
But the consideration got to be there. And some of you all are ready in your mind to jump ship, thinking that the vineyard over here is going to be, what do they say, the grass is greener on the other side? But there's no grass over there. It's a field also. It's a vineyard also. There's no work been put in to grow it. Nothing has been done to make it more appealing. But you get gassed up off the thought that, well, this over here ain't moving the way I want it to move. This over here is not doing what I think it should do. This field, this vineyard, it ain't growing fast enough. So, let me go on to the next field. If you didn't have patience for the first field, how you going to have patience for the second field? For the second vineyard? You get one house and you can't maintain it. What makes you think you're going to maintain the next house even better? You got one car that's beat down, you never maintained it, never learned how to wash it, clean it, take care of it, and then you want the Bentley? You want the Bentley, but you didn't take care of the Hyundai.
Don't work like that.
It don't work like that, right? That's a shirt the brothers got me in Rochester. It don't work like that.
And then you got to understand, man, y'all the Most High's jewels, right? There's only one way there's only a certain number of ways, a certain number of angles and stuff like that you can polish a jewel at, all right? That means it don't matter whose hands you're in, you gonna get polished the same way. Some of y'all ribs, y'all looking at your husband and he just going into you, correcting you, this and that and everything like that. You on the verge of like ready to leave. I don't have to be with you to be in the truth, or why do I got to be married to you? The Most High can deal with me, right? But he's going to deal with you the same way. He going to shine you up the same way. I used to tell my rib that, I'm like, you can leave, but you going to end up with a nigga just like me. You gonna go to him and he going to be up at 3 in the morning talking about make me a sandwich. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, I want some ramen noodles, but don't overcook them. Do you know how to perfectly cook ramen noodles?
Where they're like got a slight.
You know how hard that is?
Where they got a slight.
It's got
stiffness,
just enough firmness.
Slight stiffness.
Yeah, you gotta wait till they barely.
Yeah.
Right when they break apart, turn the water off.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
They got a
then add your seasoning, mix it in, because it's still cooking.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Gotta learn about al dente.
Yeah. You gotta do that just right.
I gotta look that up.
And if you leave me, you're gonna end up with a dude that likes the same damn Oriental half-firm noodles I like. But he's gonna be worse than me. Because you didn't learn the first time when it was all.
Thank you.
You know how I am. I ain't talking like this all the time. I'm mostly soft-spoken, right? But you're gonna end up with a dude that just talk at the level of like a Kazaki all the time. You know what I mean?
Kazaki is soft-spoken. That's crazy. He's soft-spoken. He gets turned up, but he's soft-spoken. That's my guy.
But y'all see that?
But what you're saying is true. You're gonna get, and really, you're gonna get the opposite, because a lot of people have realize that when you forsake certain things, when you forsake blessings, the Most High doesn't look at you as worthy. So what does he do? He's like, okay, I'm going to teach you the lesson. I'm going to give you the opposite. I'm going to give you the total opposite, and you got to now fend for your life through the total opposite.
Yeah, it's like I was saying about that jewel. It's going to be put under that buffer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might not like it there, but you get put in the hands of somebody who is going to use the same buffer, but they're not as good at polishing jewels.
Nope.
So they just run you into you're a nub.
It's a sander, and
Yeah,
not that soft buffing cloth.
God.
It's a sander. You're on a grinder.
Or was that was it Jumanji? When the dude, he was working in the shoe factory and he grabbed the can Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy, he grabbed the metal piece and he put it under the buffer and he didn't know what he was doing. That shit, bing, 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 almost killed somebody. Because you're going to get put under that exact same buffer. You just might get put with somebody that don't have the experience or don't have the patience or they're lacking in something because the Most High said, okay, you still got to get shined up, but you wanted to do it your way. So go with that person because I didn't pick that person for you. I picked the one that had the experience, the patience, the love, the charity. You know what I mean? Had the time. Now you're going to get with a dude that, you know what I mean? He's still going to buff you, but you ain't going to like it. Y'all see that? And now you got kids that he don't like too. See, the process is going to be the same. It just you might be in the wrong hands.
Can I read this real quick? Just going right back to Deuteronomy. Oh, sis, go ahead. You got your hand up?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Well, just what you were saying is that when you think about it, it's really not about the Most High changing a person, it's changing you. So you have to look at it like, it's not about my rib changing or it's not about my Lord changing. It's about what is the Most High trying to make you into. And until you realize what it is that he has for you, then you're going to always look at it from a different lens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times the Most High be killing two birds with one stone. But the thing is your job is to find out what he's trying to do to you.
Right.
Because too many sisters get with a man and they like, well, why the Most High give me to you? Like, you God's gift to him. Like, wait a minute. You're supposed to see why he put that man with you. What is he trying to work out of you?
Yep.
You see that? And then that man is supposed to be trying to figure out what is the Most High trying to work in me. See that? You're not supposed to be looking at each other like, yeah, I see why the Most High gave me to you. You know what I mean? You need me. Y'all need each other.
Yeah, and if you forsake, that's the part, that's why it says the void of understanding. If you forsake that part of, well, why am I matched up in these situations, or why have certain things been given to me? What is it trying to show about me? It's like you get a new car. Whip-de-doo, right? Hooray, new car, right? Got all the bells and whistles, 50 TVs, it does self-starting, it drives by itself, it floats, it does everything, right? That you want it to do. Right. It cooks breakfast, it does all that. You can recline the seats and sleep, right? The Most High gave you that. He might have been testing your selfishness. He might have been testing the carnal side of you. Now, because I got the car that floats, do I live in the car now? Like, hey, bro, hey, Shalom, Mark, where you? Well, I can't come to class today because I got to test drive my car. Like, what? You already had the car for a month. Yeah, I can't come to, I'm busy. What you doing? Just washing the car. Vacuuming that, vacuum detailing my interior for the third time this week. See, he's going to test. Yeah, I'm conditioning my leather like every day. It's conditioning my tires. Mm-hmm. He's going to test in you how much are you going to rely on what he gave you. Or are you going to let those things, what does the world do when they get things? They let those things define who they are. Yes. You see that? They let simple little things that we look at as a blessing, because we know we know that we could be walking everywhere we go. Right? We know that. Or we could just be getting rides. Yep. Right? There could be 2 cars in the camp, and everybody got to pile into the back of Thalwum's, now what do you have at the time? The big old truck, the white truck, the Ram? Everybody pile in, right? Oh, yeah. We had times like that where there was limited cars and it's rides. Everybody had to get a ride. But then brothers and sisters start getting better jobs, cars, whatever. Is the car going to define me? Is my rib defining me? Is my husband defining me? Is my house? Is my clothes? The things that we call blessings, do those define me? Well, they shouldn't. But if you skip over that lesson, he's going to now put you in a position where they will define you. Because they're going to pull out of you. It's like we said it. You had that man that was there, spirit, calm, cool, collected. He was still buffering you out, buffing out those things out of you, right? Why I gotta learn from you? Okay, watch this. Most High flipped the script. He give you the loud, rough, brute, disgruntled, don't care about you. He's still buffering you, right? You're still getting buffed out because now you got to deal with a loud, rude, brute dude, right? So now your patience, your long suffering, your got to sit back and recollect on the times when I had the soft spoken wisdom knowledge guy.
Yeah.
Right?
God.
He's gonna work it out of you regardless. But how? How? You gonna get the guy that's gonna give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, or the dude that's gonna choke it out of you? That's up to each and every one. You're gonna have to struggle with the Pinto, or you're gonna be happy with the car that runs, whatever that is. Right? The house, it may not have all the amenities and bells and whistles, or you're gonna get the one with all the bells and whistles, but you can't afford it. See, he's gonna exact out of you what he wants. I'm gonna read this real quick. Deuteronomy 32:18. Of the rock that beget thee, thou art unmindful. So since you became unmindful of what the Most High was trying to show in you, and thou hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them. How does the Most High show that he abhors us? When he lets that blessing turn on you. Right? Because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. He said, I will hide my face from them. When the Most High pulls out of a situation, that's you at the mercy of people. Wow. Or at the mercy of whatever is surrounding you. A lot of people don't realize that. You'll forsake the body. You'll forsake the charity. You'll forsake the gathering together, right? Oh, let's gather together, right? Let's 8-day feast. Well, damn, man, after the third day, I'm tired. What? Oh, okay. I got one for you. I'm going to make sure I put a disgruntled family member in your house for 30 days. And we're going to see how you like that. I'm going to remove myself from the situation and see how good you can deal.
Right.
You forsook 8 days of just getting together with like-minded people.
God.
No fights, no contention. Right?
Right.
It's all love. Let's set up some prayers. Let's eat. Let's all hold hands.
Have a good time.
Have a good time. Babies laughing. Right? You forsook that. But now I'm going to give you 30 days with a disgruntled family member. Or I'm going to let your rib turn on you for a second. Now you want to run and escape, right? Because the Most High pulled himself out of that. He turned his face. He was like, look, you deal with it now. You didn't want to enjoy the blessing that I gave you. So now you got to deal with your own curse.
What y'all think Egypt was about? I was just thinking about it while he was talking. I was like, damn. The 400 years of oppression that Abraham saw was not Egypt. That was here. Mm-hmm. We were not supposed to be in Egypt no 430 damn years.
Oh.
Abraham was sent where?
Canaan.
He was sent to go to Canaan, right?
God.
Which was, from where he was, where was he supposed to be traveling?
Come on, y'all.
Give it a little geography.
Come on, y'all. Y'all know which way he was.
Huh?
Where he was, Mesopotamia,
Yeah.
he had to go west.
There you go. So he was supposed to be traveling west, right? Go all the way to Canaan. Canaan ended up being the land we know.
All the maps I be showing y'all, come on. Get it. Someone.
Right? So his job was to go out west, right? That's where him and his people were supposed to be growing up. That's where he was supposed to live and bring up. That was the promised land. Huh? Promised to Abraham. What did Isaac do when he was doing his thing?
What do you mean? He did the same thing.
He did the same thing. Travel west. Jacob?
Same thing.
Same thing. Travel west, right? Famine came. They had to go down to Egypt, make a little detour, right? We end up in Egypt, and for about 350 years there, we was ruling the place. What happened?
What do you mean?
We were ruling
ready.
the place. That means we have freedom to leave any damn time we wanted. We were the Hyksos. We could have kept going west to Canaan.
The same thing that we do here.
Right. We could have ate, did our 7 years, right? The 7 years plenty, 7 years famine, and rolled out. Why the hell were we there for 430 years?
Got comfortable.
We was running the place. That's why they built all them fat those fat mummies and those fat statues, because Egypt was end up being the most opulent place on the planet. It was us ruling the place, living in comfort, got fat, waxed fat, kicked it. We didn't have to be in Egypt no damn 430 years. We were supposed to be in Canaan. We left off the blessing. We left off the blessing for the comfort of Egypt.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just thinking of it right now. I was like, damn, that's the blessing we left off of. The blessing was the promised land. We detoured off to damn Egypt and only had to stay there 14 years. The dearth and all that only lasted 14 years or 7 other years. Right? We had the 7 years, plenty, gathered up.
7 years,
7 years
drought,
famine.
5 more years, that's when they entered into those 5 years after that.
Right.
But we were already in Canaan.
But we ended up there 430 years, man.
Yep.
Y'all see that?
God.
We were supposed to have left and went to the promised land. We were supposed to continue what Isaac, what Jacob, what Abraham was doing. But we stopped there, got fat, and kicked it.
Wow.
Yep.
That wasn't the oppression where we were supposed to be. We weren't supposed to be under the Egyptians. So the Most High, he said, okay, since y'all get fat here, y'all marrying these Egyptian wives, y'all done polluted the holy seed and everything. Now you got to go into slavery for 80 years till you cry out to me, till you call out to me for a change in your condition, till you remember who the hell I am. Y'all see that? What happened in America?
Nah, we talked about that on Saturday.
Right.
Same thing. Like, brothers love being comfortable in slavery.
Yeah, you get here, and all of a sudden, you know, instead of brothers talking about, wait, we need to get in these scriptures and bust down these scriptures and do this, do that, and get our people, get these 144,000 sealed. Brothers start talking about aquaponic farms and how we gotta smoke weed to get to the kingdom and all this. It's like, nigga, where are you trying to be? We supposed to seal the 144,000, get the hell up out of here.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You want to grow a hydroponic farm and buy land in America. Did you forget all of Revelation? In 1 hour, your little farm is going to be destroyed. In one hour, your hydroponics is going to be burnt the hell up.
And let me just say this: we're not saying it's bad to buy land or do anything like that, but we know that that's not going to be our salvation. We have brothers coming in like, yeah, this aquaponics is going to save us. If we get land, we'll be able to start a whole complex over here. And when Christ comes, we can hide, things like that. We know that that's not going to be our salvation. And nothing wrong with getting land, buying houses, buying cars. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are blessings, right? He even said it in Isaiah. He said, look, he said, build your houses, marry your women. He said, do those things. But we understand and we know that scripturally, that's not going to be what saves us. Y'all understand that? Yeah, brothers was coming with some real weird stuff. Like aquaponics was going to get us, that was going to get us into the kingdom. But it's 9:30. We'll end it there. I mean, y'all got the gist of it, right? Con? John Doe, I don't know what happened, but they had asked a question. We actually do a little class on that one. I like that little question. So he got it. We'll put something together on it. We'll come back with it. Yeah, that was their name on the chat. So, but no, we thank everybody for joining us. Today's Monday, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's good to be back. It's my first class in a while, other than the Sabbath class. It's like a month since I've done class on the live. So, yeah, good to be back. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the class. We got another good one coming in VA tomorrow. Then we'll be back Wednesday. All right. So, with that, let's salute everybody online. Let's say shalom. Shalom. Anybody else? Rise and face the east. Oh.
Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The scepter will never leave Judah. The step that would never lead. Judah, 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 will never leave Judah.